Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Human Instrumentality Podcast. I am your host, Vanillafish, aka JEO Tournament Champion, and today I'm not joined by anyone. Uh, Last week we weren't here, and this week it's just me because, let's say HunterJawa is on extended vacation forever. So I'll take the reins here, and now this is my podcast. Changing the name up a little bit. We'll call this the Robbie Fisher's podcast for heroes only. And that's as far as I could take this bit.
Hey, I'm back from vacation.
I tried.
Yeah, I decided to let you go for a minute just so you could understand what the weight on my shoulders is, being the true host of this program.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to be cut out for the hosting of this.
No, it's really a difficult position to undertake, and you can make jokes, but at the end of the day, you got to measure up.
Well, this yardstick here is a little short. I'll say that much.
I agree, and I would like to issue an apology to the fans, to the followers. 2 weeks ago, I said we were going to do an episode last week, but
You're a liar.
that was a blatant lie because I was on vacation all last week, not available to do the show. So
That was vacation.
you know what? It was all right. I was afraid that I'd come back this week with nothing to talk about, but I got some games in. Some stuff has gone down, so I'm feeling ready.
I am absolutely not ready to do this at all.
Well, you know what? Keep it spontaneous, keep it random, keep it funny. That's what people like.
You're right. It's speaking of all three of those things, YouTube Geek Week is coming up. Be sure to check that out.
That's right. We will be participating in YouTube Geek Week.
We were chosen. YouTube reached out to us. They sent me an email. They said, "Wow, your podcast is so random and geeky. Please do Geek Week." And let's just say we are getting paid. We will be doing it.
I just wanted to make an announcement actually about that. You may know the celebrity Starling from the YouTube channel Geek and Sundry.
I've never heard of that.
We will be having Felicia Day as a guest on the show.
Oh, really?
That's correct.
That's news to me. Wow. She really knows her stuff.
In the industry, this is what you call a good get.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Clan.
I think it's the Guild actually.
And whatever else is on that channel. I guess there's like a gardening. What does Sundry even mean?
I don't know. Like, can I tell my Felicia Day story?
Go for it.
For maybe 3 years now in a row, I've gone to New York Comic Con in the beautiful New York City, my favorite city. And this year, I found out that passes were being sold earlier, and for every single day, and they were more money. But you know what? All that bad stuff, I just put it in the back of my mind because out of the maybe 3 or so guests they had already announced by the time the tickets were about to sell out, spotlight guest, Felicia Day. And I thought to myself, hey, I could ignore all this other bullshit, but if I could see Felicia Day at a panel and pay $20 to get her autograph, wait in another line, $20 more to get a picture with her, I think it might be worth it. So
I don't have to.
I will see you all at New York Comic Con. I'm still going, even though she's going to be on our show.
Yeah, I was going to say it's free now. Well, we did have to pay her a significant amount of money to get her to appear on the show, but that's a different story.
It'll be worth it. It'll pay dividends later.
Gentlemen don't discuss prices.
Yeah, well, I don't know the price. I just found out about this.
I'm not going to tell you.
Is it coming out of my wallet too?
Speaking of things that gentlemen do discuss, I watched some cartoons this week.
Yeah, me too.
It was more like in the past 2 days, I had to catch up on like a week and a half worth of stuff, but I did it. I'm here. So, our tradition is to start the segment with Attack on Titan, so I guess we'll just do it. Since I've been gone, there's been 2 new episodes, and it's like another slow building story dialogue type section, but
It's not as bad.
no, and there's a arc to each episode, which is something we criticized in the past. Now, like, nothing big has happened yet, but we're taking genuinely sizable steps toward, actual events.
I heard this is the best part of the manga.
Yeah, I've heard that too from some people, so we'll see how it turns out. But I realized while I was watching it that I do know some spoilers about stuff to come, but there's other stuff that is still mysterious to me. And one thing I especially liked was the ending of episode 15, I think, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That Commander Irwin guy, he might not be all he's cracked up to be. I don't even know.
That's the impression you got.
Well, he comes up to the main character and he comes up there and says something real weird that, like, what is he talking about? And then the music gets all like funky and you get the idea. He's like, what the fuck did he just say? What is he talking about? I don't know. Maybe he's no good.
I don't know either.
Somebody,
someone who's like read the manga is listening to this right now, and they're like, "Dude, what? No, he's chill."
Hey, well, somebody killed those 2 prisoner titans with the 3D gear, right? And
Yeah, well, I actually know who did that. I read spoilers.
Oh, well, fuck you. I was trying to put out some theories here.
Oh, maybe it was him.
Maybe it was, because they wouldn't check the Grand Commander, I'm sure.
He seemed pretty concerned, though.
Alright, well, that's my theory.
Okay.
But, yeah, we don't have to get into too much. The second episode, that I guess it was 16, ends with the Recon Corps charging out to actually do a thing, so when things start going down, we'll have more to talk about. But I just wanted to say that in terms of like story building and dialogue and stuff, this is much stronger than it has been in the past. All right, another new episode this week that we actually sat down together to view.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
As critics was the C Cubed Airsoft Club. That's what I'm gonna call it now. I really didn't expect the developments that went down.
Yeah, it was in my opinion pretty Gynaxy.
So our main character in the previous episodes, she has like these visions or like fantasy settings will overlay what's happening, which I kind of thought was more of a stylistic choice. But in this episode, it turns out that she might have some kind of power to, like, I don't know. What was your impression of like what she was doing? I don't really fully get it.
It looked like she was just at first it seemed before watching this episode, it was just like she was kind of like visualizing the scenes in the airsoft battles as something else. It could be superpowers. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where to stand on it yet because it seemed like up to this point, this wasn't going to be a series about superpowers, and I don't think that they're necessarily committed to making it about that yet. Like, it's totally possible that this is just like a one-off thing that they don't really talk about again, or it could become like the central focus. So I don't know. It's confusing. I'd say if I had a preference, that I would prefer that this just stayed as a one-off, and it's out there like, hey, maybe that's a thing, but they don't actually like commit to it, I guess.
All right, here are two things. One, I heard that this development here totally anime original.
Well, yeah, the manga is actually just a 4-panel strip series.
And then number two,
there's no story to it.
Director tweeted out, "This is only the beginning."
Oh, wow, really?
Yep.
Well, I said last week that just like from the direction of the show and the way it's edited and put together, like you get the impression that Gainax really just can't make anything like generic. Like even this premise is just about a girls' school club had a lot of personality to it, and I think this is further proof that they do things their own way.
Yeah, which I like to see because after watching Medaka Box, I was like, well, this kind of isn't Gainax, but good to see they're back at it. I hope.
At the end of the day, if they can pull it off well, I guess I'm up for it. But they still have to prove it. I think the episode
Oh
4,
yeah,
it wasn't like one way or the other. Like it was pretty cool, but I think they need to further justify making the series about that if they're going to do that.
hmm
But it could be good. I don't know. It's more interesting than just like the fun cuteness I expected going in. So there's that.
So I'm gonna go back. Attack on Titan second season. I'll give it a little bit of thumbs up. You should watch it. It's pretty good. Airsoft, thumbs up. You should watch that. What's next on the plate?
We have The World God Only Knows season 3.
Thumbs up.
So yeah, have you been digging it so far?
Yeah, I really have. And like, I thought like I wouldn't because I missed so much before, but it's same old, same old. I feel I'm in it. Like I'm not really missing all too much, and it's more of the stuff I liked. So I'm about it right now.
A lot of people complain about the Goddesses arc because they say that the series is about the conquests and this is different. But at the end of the day, the Goddesses arc is still conquest. It's just like, to me, it's kind of like putting a cap on stuff that was left open, like in the previous conquest, which is kind of nice. Like Shiori's, where they write the story together and stuff, is just so fucking adorable.
Yeah,
And that's only the beginning. It hasn't even gotten to the best parts yet, so it's
I'm
definitely
hyped.
good stuff.
I'm very much enjoying it right now. So like I said, thumbs up.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And there's, they go into like some more drama and action stuff too, which is unfamiliar to the series, but that's not like the focus. It's kind of cool that they experiment with that stuff,
Yeah,
but it's all about the conquest still, and it ends with a pretty good, maybe the best conquest in the entire series.
as it should be.
So look forward to that.
I will.
I'd say the pacing so far is pretty good. They're 4 episodes in, and there's quite a bit left to go in terms of plot for the manga version of the arc. But you can see the stuff they've cut here and there is saving time, and I hope they have enough time for all the good stuff. But if they end up cutting some non-conquest type stuff just to include all the meat and potatoes, I guess I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you had any reservations because this season is kind of a far cry from what you've seen in the past, definitely don't even worry about it. They're doing a pretty good job. And, check that
I'm
out.
just happy they're animating more of it.
Yeah, this is probably it. I mean, people have said that every time because I don't know, it never brings in the numbers for them with this show. But I think this time might actually be it. So yeah, it's good that they're ending on some good stuff.
I think the next show we're about to talk about is something I've been really enjoying. Probably a little too much. Just watched the fourth episode moments before starting this podcast. Kirino Mosaic Moe as fuck.
Full disclosure, I've still only seen the first 2. Uh, I have 3 and 4 downloaded, but I haven't had the opportunity to view them yet. But I forget if I'd seen 2 of them last time we talked about it, but I definitely agree. It's pretty cute. I like all the English. I like the characters. I like the colorful designs. It's just all good stuff.
I think I said before earlier during last season that there's always got to be that cute girls in high school show for me every season.
Yeah.
I think this is totally it, and I feel like this is like my favorite so far out of this like whole year.
Out of the whole year, you say?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
All right. I've only seen 2 so far. I definitely really like them. I
Did you get introduced to the second girl from England yet?
no. Well, I
Well,
mean, she's in the first episode for like
yeah.
5 seconds, and they have a whole conversation in English between them, which like makes no sense in any context.
She'll join the mix here. It's pretty fun. Also, her English is probably the worst in the show, which makes it the
The
best.
best, yeah. All right, I'm looking forward to that. Uh, I think that's pretty easily gonna get the trophy for the cute girls show this season, though.
Yeah. Well, is there really anything to contest with it?
Well, airsoft, I guess, but that's turning into
That's
something else, maybe. So they might
well,
be in different leagues.
there is also the cute boys show.
Oh yeah, well, I still haven't seen any of that or made a decision on whether or not I'm gonna watch it. Last time we didn't really talk about like any specifics from it, so if you had anything you wanted to say about like the story or
Um.
specifically what you liked about it, I guess now would be a good time.
Uh. What happened? They opened the pool. The one that didn't know how to swim now knows how to swim. Swims a butterfly.
One of them
They,
didn't know how to swim.
yeah, he didn't. I don't know, but now he can. So it's all good. They went bathing suit shopping. That's what happened.
So would you describe it as like pretty typical of like a show that would have a cast of four girls except they're male
Yeah,
in terms of like the structure of every episode and
yeah,
the
absolutely.
cliches they cash in on?
Yeah, it seems like it could turn into like a sports type series, but it's still slice of life right now.
Okay.
But it follows the same structure, except instead of like girls, it's like boys, and then when they try on swimsuits, it's like, oh, well, check out those abs and stuff. And thankfully, there is a female character in the cast who does that for you.
All right, so she can be your vessel
Yeah,
into the world of admiring abs.
and triceps and biceps.
All right, good
She
stuff.
likes muscles.
I mean, I don't know that KyoAni has ever taken a stab at like a genuine sports show.
This might be as
So,
close as they get.
yeah, maybe if they go for it. I don't know. But you know what? I was scorning it at first. I might just try and watch a couple episodes and see what it's like.
Hey,
Cause
give it a shot.
yeah, it sounds like it's genuinely good for what it is. And you know what? I don't want to close my horizons. Just want to open them up. So maybe I'll check that out. It sounds pretty good for what it is. All right. Uh, we talked about this controversial program last time. In the interim, there's been 2 new episodes, and I still have no idea whether or not I can say I like it. But yeah, Watamote is still going on, and I'm up and down on it.
That
How
was
about
pretty
you?
funny.
I think episode 2 is really, really good.
The one with her friend.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was good.
just like in terms of comedic timing and the actual like jokes in the episode, it's just funny. And like the ending of the episode just plays like the segment where they meet up
Yeah,
completely straight for like 5 minutes as a build up to one joke, and it's totally worth it. Like I laughed pretty hard at the ending, so that was pretty good. And then episode 3 was kind of garbage. I don't know.
you didn't like episode 3?
It's like I talked about this in the first week. Like if the whole show is going to be her walking around complaining about people and just being generally unpleasant, then that's not really that funny to me. There
Okay.
wasn't really any jokes. There wasn't really even any jokes about. Well, I guess there was. I was gonna say there wasn't that many jokes about her being even antisocial or awkward. It was kind of just her looking at things and not liking them.
You didn't like
There's,
the umbrella bit?
yeah, that was the closest it got. But even that was like more painfully awkward than funny.
I just remembered in the second episode the whole bit with the guy drawing a picture of her. That was hysterical.
Yeah, that was really funny too. And the way that they pay that off at the ending too was great. Like that's a good joke to me. That's like a good gag that they ran through the whole episode. I don't think episode 3 or 1 for that matter really has anything on that caliber. So maybe I can just be like on and off with this series, but they're like 1 for 3 with me right now.
All right.
It has potential, but when they're not hitting them, it's a big miss for me.
Well, let's see where this goes.
Well, did you like the third one?
I It wasn't as good as the second one, but there were parts that still made me laugh. So, hey, if it does that at least once an episode, I'll stick with it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I definitely want it to be good, so hopefully there's more good stuff coming up. But yeah, the the parts where it gets like too much into this is so awkward or I hate these people so much, it's not so funny to me. That's all. Did you get a chance to view the show I discussed last time, Sunday Without God?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm up to episode 4 on it now. The first 3 episodes I was ready to just stop watching because it just like didn't make a lick of goddamn sense to me. Like the premise is like I get it, but then what actually happens on the show just like makes me confused about what the premise actually is.
Yeah.
Because like they say like oh yeah people can't die and this and that, but I don't think I fully understood the rules of that for the entire first 3 episodes, and I kind of still don't. So it's frustrating to watch in that sense. But episode 4 is way better than all the previous ones, and they actually kind of like started a structure to the story where the main characters will like ride around in this bus and explore different parts of the world that have changed after this event.
Is it post-apocalyptic?
Sort of, yeah. Like the event that prevents people from dying, kind of ends the world as we know it.
Okay.
And so the city they went to in episode 4 is like a whole city of people who have died but haven't been buried properly. So they're still like walking around and they're not really interested in dying. They kind of want to live. So they built the city for themselves and it has these huge walls around it, and they have this whole society of like dead people.
Huh.
Which is kind of interesting, like to explore that angle. So if they drive this bus around and explore how the world has changed, I think things will start to make more sense, and you actually get to like there's actual like good world building. Whereas in the first 3 episodes, they walk around in like empty ruins, and it's just like 3 characters. So episode 4 is way better. So I'll keep watching it, but I
I
won't
think
say
I
it's
think
great
I'll
yet.
watch this if you start telling me real good things.
Yeah, hey, who
This
knows?
might be a late pickup, like Red Data Girl last year, even though I've yet to finish that show.
I would say if you're interested in the premise, like it's not bad. Like give it a shot, but I don't know where it's gonna go. It could be
So
good.
I'm gonna sit on it for a little bit.
All right. And you have a couple others from this season, or at least one you want to talk about, right?
Yes.
The most
I
important one, perhaps.
I totally forgot that it was airing this season, but the new season of High School DxD, the show I watched, when was it? Maybe it was a year ago. I don't know. But I decided to pick it up the first season a year ago on a whim. Didn't know what it was, and I found myself watching ultra like generic type magic story, but with full emphasis on ecchi material, boobs in particular. So much so that the main character, like after every single episode, like in the preview for the next one, promises more boobs in each one. And let's just say second season does not disappoint in that category. But the story is still like so bad I couldn't care less about it. And I really don't know why I watch it. And I don't even maybe it's the boobs. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I know why you watch it.
But here's the thing, like I could Google boobs right now on the internet. I don't Are the jokes funny? Not really.
Well, is it like I don't want to say it's like so bad it's good, but is it like the etching material is so overblown that it's kind of comedic?
I Yeah, that's got to be it because some parts I do enjoy are like the story is like it's not even like they joke around. Like the story is like 100% serious really, and it's like so far up its own ass. Like I guess that's kind of funny.
That sucks though. I don't know if it's like totally committed to itself being like
I mean, there's like such stupid stuff that goes on in like the story,
okay,
but
all right.
it doesn't break from that. Like it's committed to this like demons versus angels world. That's real dumb, but the stuff they fight like giant like boob monsters and stuff, and the main character wants to be the harem king, which is dope, and his like superpower is to break the clothes off girls and stuff. So I mean, it's dumb.
That's a good power.
Yeah, the ladies don't like it, but
Secretly, they
yeah,
do.
I think yeah. So I'll keep watching it. I don't know why. It's not a good show. I wouldn't recommend it.
So you wouldn't recommend it, but fully recommended.
Yeah. Hey,
Gotcha.
everyone, please watch it. 2 thumbs up. Best show this season. You don't even need to watch the first season. Who cares? You don't need that. You can. Then you could download the specials and the OVAs. You could watch all that.
All right. I'm going to give an update real quick on a series I was talking about. I forget if it was 1 or 2 weeks ago. It was Crest of the Stars, a sci-fi series from the late 90s. And I finished the first series, Crest of the Stars, and started watching the second one, Banner of the Stars, which has 3 different seasons to it.
Oh.
And it's really, really good.
How was the first season?
Okay, so what I like about the show so much is that every season has like the 2 main characters in common between them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the cast doesn't change, but the premise of each season is completely different. Like the material that they put out is like, so like if you were gonna compare it to Spice and Wolf, both seasons are just the 2 main characters journeying and doing trade stuff, right?
Yeah.
But in this show, like season 1 is like a story, is like more of an origin story about how this war began and how these 2 characters met, and like this adventure they go on together.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 was a story about like one of the earliest battles in the war and how the 2 main characters participate, and it's told from multiple perspectives. The 2 main characters are on like a tiny little assault ship that like hardly matters in the end result of the battle, so they're kind of just like a pawn, like the tiniest pawn you can possibly imagine in this huge battle.
Mm-hmm.
And they also pull back the perspective, and the other characters are all like the major generals who are like giving all the orders on top. So you see the battle from all the way back and all the way in front, which is pretty cool.
Huh.
Like the main characters don't win the battle for the army. Like they're not the heroes. They just try and do what they do in their little assault ship, and it's kind of a cool story that way. And then season 3, which I haven't finished yet, but I'm watching now, the main characters are given the responsibility to negotiate with a planet that got taken over during the war, and try and like convert them over to the Empire. So they have to deal with like politics on the surface of the planet. So it's cool that it's cool that they don't like make every season about the same thing. Like
Yeah.
it's a different story each time, which I really like.
And where'd you first hear about this?
Oh, I just saw it on a certain website being discussed, and it sounded pretty good.
All right. It's kind of Spice and Wolfy, kind of, right?
Yeah, well, the main cast is, like I said last time, the girl from like the space genetically altered species, and the main character guy is just a regular dude, and they kind of have adventures together and share their cultures and that kind of thing. Although there's not really any economics to speak of.
Well, we got another show for that, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's cool. They don't have to be exactly the same. But there's like a good balance of like really funny and quirky dialogue. Like the space genetically altered race called the Abs they're like way different from regular humans, and they're kind of quirky because they seem different because they typically don't go on land. Like they just live in space for their entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all about like royal families and family tradition and stuff like that. So
yeah,
they have kind of quirks to them, and they're all pretty entertaining characters to watch.
Interesting. I will definitely have to watch that.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Does that wrap up anime talk?
I think that wraps it up. Are we gonna break off here and come back?
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do.
All right, we're gonna take a break and then come back to you with some other bullshit. Be right back. All right, welcome back. We've brought on a very important guest. In the past, we promised to bring back Mr. Vic Berglito as
He's
our
on vacation.
as our PS3 correspondent. But you know what? Fuck that. We got somebody else to do the job. So, we have a special guest with us tonight, and that is Mr. John the Big Kahuna Fahey.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing this week?
I'm doing all right. Got nothing to do.
That's not even true. You got a very important project to work on, but
Oh, that's true.
we're not even going to talk about that. Why don't you tell us about some video games you've been playing? Whatever you want to say.
Okay. I've been playing mostly a lot of Animal Crossing, New Leaf.
Fuck that game.
Just got on that 3DS. I'm doing good. Trying to get people. Some people are laying down like tiles on their villages. I'm not about that. I'm just trying to get the perfect villagers right now. It's going all right so far.
All right, I'm just gonna butt in here. We're talking about perfect villagers.
Yeah.
My town, I think it had eight villagers, so I'm not at the max yet. But yeah, I had a busy weekend. I was out and about. I was sleeping in tents. I was going to work. I was doing things. I didn't have time to check my 3DS, check on my village. I had three villagers I liked. I have a penguin named Puck, an eagle named Apollo, and a rabbit named Bonbon. They're all pretty chill. Everyone else in my town can fuck off. I got some ducks. I got some goats. Who cares? I got this rabbit named, no, not a rabbit. He's a frog. He's named Frobert, and he lives next to me. Hate that dude. So I come back to town, pull a few weeds, do my thing, check up on my dude Apollo, chill ass dude. He stays up late too, like me. So we're like on the same page here. And I roll up and he's like, "Yo, hey, Robbie, I'm leaving tomorrow." And I haven't played since.
Yeah, that I heard of like people who like won't play their game for like 3 days and then will get the message like that morning from what's her name, that someone's moving away and you had nothing to do to stop it.
Yeah, I think if you have at least 2 days even, you could tell him to stop. But I got there and he's leaving tomorrow, and
it's because it's usually a really long like period. Like,
isn't it like 5 days?
Yeah, it's usually way longer than it has to be for the stupid villagers to move out.
What? The best ones, they always go.
Not for me yet. Knock on wood.
Only the good die young. Rest in peace, Apollo. Birthday July 4th. God bless America. Fuck that game. Jesus Christ.
You should have told me so I could visit and he would move to my town.
Hey. Then it's like me just giving you a loaner there, like, here's one chill duder. But I'm getting nothing out of this. I'm not helping anyone. And then, what was the worst thing? I'm gonna call someone out here. No way he's listening to it, but I have a coworker at work. He plays a little Animal Crossing. He has the audacity to say, "Hey, why don't you just time travel and get him back?" Are you kidding me?
No, you don't do that.
That's taboo, brother.
Yeah.
Shh.
I did that on Animal Crossing GameCube when I was a kid, and I went so forward in time. I forget why, but I just kept going forward in time, and I went in such a huge time gap that there were weeds, literally, like you couldn't walk without stepping on a weed, and I was in the 3rd grade, so I cried. It was pretty horrible, so I'm never doing that again.
Hey, have you guys ever read A Sound of Thunder?
No.
Don't travel through time.
No. Is that your Animal Crossing 2 cents?
It's a story about it's a Ray Stevenson. Is that his name? Oh no, Ray Bradbury is his name. A story about time travelers who go back in time to hunt dinosaurs for fun. One guy is real dumb. He steps in the wrong place and crushes a bug. When they go back to the future, everything's fucked up. Everything. English language does not even exist anymore.
Would you recommend it?
Hey man, check it out. There's a movie on it. There's a movie version of it, like a real shitty CG. Bugs attack when they go back to the future or something. On the Sci-Fi Channel I saw. That's fucking bullshit, but hey, it's a good short story. Check it out.
Should this be included as like a PDF download in all Animal Crossing City Folk
Yeah.
If they're
digital download.
trying, yeah, they should just have Mr. Rossetti come up and say like, "Hey, listen, I know what you've been doing. I want you to read a short story. Things are gonna get real fucked up if this keeps going
Hey,
on."
whenever he talks to you, it's basically like you're reading a fucking short story. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's true. He
But
can
you
read.
can skip his stuff now.
That's bullshit. That's not
Yeah.
just do that.
Because like when you reset it, he gives you he's like, why did you reset it? And you can say either my batteries ran out, I wanted to reset, or I forgot. And if you said I forgot, he says like a line, and then he leaves.
You know what? That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
No excuses. None. If you reset without saving, you fucked up big time. You deserve to be punished. They should make Rossetti read the entire story of A Sound of Thunder.
Every time.
Every time.
Single.
Well, you learn your fucking lesson after the first time, I'd hope.
Yeah. Hey.
Well, all I'm saying is, fuck that game. Now I'm down to 2 good villagers. Two's a crowd, three's a party. Well, party's rained out.
Ooh, it was rainy today.
Fuck.
In my town. Just come to think of it. But
No,
it's not a figuratively rainy place because I got all kinds of good villagers.
Hiatus.
So I have one question before we close out Animal Crossing stuff. I get kind of curious about this whenever I hear people talk about the game. So this goes to each of you. I know there's really no end game to Animal Crossing, but like how do you approach the game and like what goals do you pursue in order to have fun with it, I guess? Like what are the things that you go in and enjoy?
John, I'll let you go first.
All right. Well, I know with this game in particular, you get all of the since you become mayor, you get all these town projects you can build. So you can put new like cool stuff in your town, and you talk to villagers, and they give you new ideas. And that is generally like you're trying to improve your town. There's no like, as you said, there's no like end game, but I guess it's the end game is sort of up to the player, where it's like, oh, I'm satisfied, I'm cool, this is good. But I know this game does it way better than the past couple games have, because there hasn't been that kind of thing that keeps you interested and keeps you wanting to do new stuff each day. So I like this one better. City Folk wasn't all that great. I like this one better than Wild World, probably. It's the best one since the GameCube one, I think. And the GameCube one was probably just good because it was a new idea at the time.
All right.
Basically, what I do with Animal Crossing, my routine has been, when I don't have time, like to sit down and play it, I like to, in the morning when I wake up, I like to peep in at the store, see if there's anything cool. Then I talk to the 2 neighbors I like. Before it was 3, but fuck that game. And then I turn it off. And then if I did find time, I, settle down, do a little fishing, pay off some debts here and there, talk to the neighbors. And then one of the biggest things for me that I'd like is trying to collect the pieces of furniture and stuff to put in my house that I like. So maybe it's the interior designer in me. But
yeah.
So far in New Leaf, my main goal right now, above paying my debt and keeping the villagers I like in my town, has been to try and collect the minimalist set of furniture. Collect some other. I'm trying to turn my basement into an arcade. I already got the arcade machine. I got that tabletop machine. I got that pinball machine. I'm money right now. So that's been my main goal here, and I'm having fun with it.
I personally think there needs to be a better way of getting the furniture that you want, because there's if you read like a list of like how much stuff there is in this game, and the amount of times that things like repeat in the stores, it's just it could be like a year before you get everything that you want.
Which I think is good that the Street Pass is so good, because it cuts down on that.
That's true.
And even it gives you every week it gives you like a spot pass generated like house or whatever. I believe it's the same for everybody. And it's like a full house stuff, and every room has like a different theme, and you could purchase some of the stuff from the houses, most of it, except like real exclusive items and stuff like that. And that's a good way to get furniture too, I think.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I didn't know about that. You know
Yep.
what? Street Pass in general is pretty cool. Recently they updated it so that if you walk past a Street Pass hotspot, you'll automatically Street Pass with a person who walked past a different hotspot.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's cool.
So like basically, the hotspots keep a cache of people who have gone by, and they just distribute Street Passes to people who go by. So it makes it easier to for people in less populated areas like the United States of America, compared to Japan anyway, to get Street Passes from people you don't know, and find some cool stuff.
No, yeah, because like I went on vacation to Virginia Beach, and I was expecting, I already had the plan. I'm like, I'm gonna take my DS everywhere. I'll get a ton of Street Pass stuff, and I only got from one guy the whole trip, and it was some dude from Michigan, and I hope he seemed like a pretty young child. I hope it doesn't come off as creepy that he got me like 4 times.
Hey,
So-
I'll tell you what. The demo 3DS they have in Toys R Us, it's got people come in. They bring their 3DSs, get Street
Uh-huh.
Passes from this thing. I checked the Street Pass Plaza. It's all old dudes with beards and glasses. It's fucking weird. Like, it's a Toys R Us. You'd expect little kids to bring their 3DSs in there. Yeah, there's a few, but most of them are old men with beards.
That's good to know.
And hey,
Yeah.
sometimes I bring my 3DS. I've brought my 3DS maybe a few times to New York City. Got like 3 Street Passes.
Yeah. So like the whole Street Pass system, I guess, was developed with like a Japanese setting in mind. Like,
Yeah.
You hear people who play Animal Crossing in Japan can't go outside without getting a Street Pass, or if you go on the train, you get like 100 or something.
Mhm.
So it sucks that it doesn't quite translate to a different like cultural structure. But I like that they're trying to change the infrastructure a little bit so that you can get Street Passes without going to like PAX or something.
And the Street Pass function, like in the game, like it takes up a large area, and it seems like a pretty, like something they want you to use, which is good that they at least provide you once a week with a new house. Because like, imagine like you're out in Bumblefuck, Kansas, sitting there in your house looking at this empty plaza, like, Jesus Christ, all I want for Christmas is a fucking Street Pass, So,
Yeah, I get that.
Mom, can we take a day trip to Las Vegas so I can get a couple Street Passes, please? So, they're
Alright.
doing it.
I think that's that.
I feel like we talked about Animal Crossing for far too long.
This past week I was on vacation. I brought along my PlayStation Vita, console quality on the go. And I've been digging into Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3. Persona 3 Portable, excuse me. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the process of buying this game. After I beat 4, I was like, that game is rad. I'm going to play the third one. I heard it's pretty similar.
Also, hey, Persona 4 is 33% off on PSN right now.
Yeah, it is. All the
Oh
Persona
wow,
games are on sale.
maybe I should give that a look. See.
Hey, now's the time.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
is
haven't checked the
Is
PS
the
Plus stuff.
PS2 sorry, is the PS2 version of Persona 4 on PSN?
I don't think so, but
So
Maybe?
you need a Vita to play it. Oh, you have a Vita, don't you? No, I'm the only one. Okay. Anyway,
right, you keep talking. I'm gonna see if Persona 4 is on PSN.
I wanted to buy Persona 3. I'm told that the definitive version, as it stands, is Persona 3 Fez, which is a PS2 game, but it's on PSN. So I was like, all right, I'll buy that on my Vita. But no, you can't buy it on the Vita. There's a different version of the game called Persona 3 Portable, which was made for the PSP. And there's some significant differences between the two that makes the process of buying Persona 3 like the most frustrating thing in the world. So, just to break it down, Persona 3 is pretty similar to Persona 4 in terms of like presentation, whereas like all the scenes in the game play out with like 3D models animating and conversing and whatnot. And in Persona 3 Portable, for some reason, all that stuff is taken out, and it's just character portraits delivering dialogue. And you navigate the environments by moving around a cursor over a 2D picture, which is
That's really weird.
yeah. And you lose a lot in terms of the presentation. Like all you have is the voice acting and pictures instead of the characters actually animating. And the excuse they gave when they put the game out was that the PSP has all these limitations that prevented them from putting the game properly. But I've played other PSP games that are definitely up to the level of the original version of Persona 3. So it reeks of bullshit to me. I don't know. It seems lazy. But Persona 3 also has improvements over the console version. In Persona 3 Fez, when you go into a dungeon, you can only control your character in battle, and you have to let the computer control the rest of your party, which is fucking stupid. But in Persona 3 Portable, you can control everybody, like in Persona 4, the way the game should be played. And there was a system in Persona 3 Fez where if your party mates got tired, they would ditch you and leave the dungeon. So if you play the dungeon too long, you end up by yourself and you'll die. And they took that out, which sounds like a good idea to me. So I think there needs to be a Persona 3 Golden here. They need to put that game on the Vita. They need to quit the bullshit, make the actual game, but keep in those improvements that Persona 3 Portable made. And, don't make people choose between a satisfying gameplay experience or a satisfying story experience. But all that aside, I like the game a lot, and it's pretty fun, and it's a lot different from Persona 4. But if you like Persona 4, you'll definitely dig it in different ways. Like, don't expect too similar experience. I would say Persona 3 might even have a better story overall. So,
All right. How far in are you?
I'm about 30 hours in.
Into Persona 3?
Yeah.
Then you got way farther than I did.
Oh, all right. Just to be general, one thing I really like about it is, and I'm not complaining about Persona 4 here. The characters in Persona 4 all become friends really quickly, and they all are in love with the main character. Like, girls, guys, whatever. Everyone loves this guy, which is fine. Like, the game has, like, a really fun friendship, teamwork atmosphere. The characters in Persona 3, like, the main characters that are all working together, don't like each other. They're not friends. They just, like, they have to do this thing together to save the world. And there's, like, pretty good drama between them as they, like, figure out that they've been lying to each other, and some of them might be more involved with evil shit than they might be letting on. So it's, like, a much darker story, and they get into, like, some pseudo-psychological horror elements. So the tone is completely different, and there's, like, pretty good inter-character drama that makes you more interested in the relationships between the entire cast rather than everyone just having the fact that they love you in common. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. It's refreshing that it's not like the same old bullshit in both games. Like they excel in different ways.
That's good.
But yeah, I think that covers it for Persona 3. I'll probably come back and talk about it again when I beat it.
Well, here's the question now, pretty pertinent. Will there be a Persona 3 Fez 2?
What do you mean by that?
There was a Fez 2 Phil Fish joke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I get it.
Atlas.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Atlas's parent company is selling the company. They quit the game industry.
Yeah, they did.
The long bloody campaign has ended. You win. They take the money and run.
They said Atlas USA Twitter account has gone private.
Some people are really. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's the where they expected? What are the rumors for where they're supposed to end up? Like, who's gonna buy?
It all sounds like bullshit to me for now, but some people say Nintendo, some people say EA, stuff like that. Some people say Square Enix.
I heard a lot. I heard the Sony for them to be PlayStation exclusive developers, and they were talking about having the Fire Emblem series on those, but that's intelligent systems, right?
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
being, because I know they're doing a crossover with Shin Megami Sensei or whatever.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem is.
Shin Megami
I don't know if I said that right. Yeah, I don't even know if I said that right, but it just confused me that someone would say that Atlas owns that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm off on a tangent here.
People were super worried about the whole thing, and they're like, "Oh, Atlas is fucked, and they're gonna get bought by a publisher who's gonna ruin them." But keep in mind that this parent company owns Atlas, but Atlas self-publishes every single game they put out. Like, they don't take bullshit. they don't take bullshit from everybody. Their name is on the box. I don't think that's going to change no matter what happens. Like,
Yeah.
the people that are selling them don't have any stake in Atlas. They just own them. So I think Atlas is going to do what Atlas is going to do, and I know that Persona 5 is definitely in development. Ain't nobody going to fuck with that.
Yeah, I hope it's good.
It's interesting because I know that Persona 4 Arena crosses over the stories of 4 and 3.
Yeah.
And like hints at more stuff in the future. But I was talking about it with somebody else, and I feel like it would be kind of wrong to make another Persona game that has like past characters instead of an original cast. You know?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. It's gonna be an original cast.
Like, because at that point it becomes Persona All Stars. Like it might as well be another fighting game. Like I don't mind like a continuity in the plot, but they should have an original cast if making a new game. That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
there might be a cameo here and there,
Sure.
but it's gonna be an original cast, guaranteed. I put money on it.
But yeah, that covers it for Persona. Does anyone else have any games they want to talk about?
Yeah, I've been these past few weeks played a lot of Civilization 4 and 5. Civilization 4 probably one of my favorite games of all time. Used to play it all the time when I was younger, and then recently, we used to do it way more than we do now. But John and some of our other buds, we'd get together for 6 or so hours, play a game, just relax. And for the longest time, like I just avoided Civilization 5. And I finally got around to buying it. Gold edition was like $12 during Steam sales, and I must say, Civ 4 is way better.
I heard that the Brave New World though equaled or
Yeah.
at least got close to.
Well, the problem
Civ 4.
was with vanilla Civilization 5. I heard the beginning of the early game was shit and the end game was shit. And then with the stuff I bought with Gold Edition, the early game is okay and the end game is shit. And I heard with Brave New World, the early game is okay and the end game is great. But I don't want to with the Gold Edition on sale and then buying Brave New World, I'd be up to like $45. After how long has this game been out for it to be playable?
Yeah.
A couple years, right?
I mean, it's got some stuff in Civ 5 I really liked, like the leaders appear in like these really well animated backdrops and stuff like that, and they speak in their native language, stuff like that. But other stuff was just they didn't really play as well. They streamlined it a lot, and for some stuff it worked, a lot of stuff it didn't. I felt like the combat was a little bit better, but it was really slow, and Tech Tree hey, maybe it's just because I like Civ 4 so much, but I think that's a way better game, and if someone wants to play Civ 5 with me, I could see myself playing it, but if I had to choose, I'd play Civ 4 for years.
Alright, so I've never played either game. Just in general terms, can you describe to me, you say the end game is good or the end game is bad in certain situations? What's the fun part of Civilization, or the thing that draws you in that you like about it?
Just from seeing where you start to where you finish, you've created a vast empire, and in the end, you could build up large armies and conquer the rest of the world. You can use influence to win that way. You could I think if you could build a spaceship and be the first to travel to another star system. You could win that way, and you can win. Maybe there's 5 different ways you can win. But the problem with 5 is, it just slows everything down, and the end is well, here's one major problem is one of the things that heavily influenced gameplay in Civ 4 was religion. And that could instantly create a relationship with another country, or it could instantly end one. And in real life, it basically is the cause for almost every single war that happens. And that plays a major role in relationships throughout the entire game lengthy play. And in Vanilla Civ 5, there was no religion, and then they added it in a different expansion, but it still basically plays absolutely no role. So that was one gameplay change I didn't really like. But I guess the draw for me for the Civilization series is just after putting in like 6 or so hours of gameplay and just seeing your work, just all you've accomplished. That's fulfilling, I guess.
All right, I see you. It's like
That
a
was a lot of
grander.
Sorry.
It's like a grander scale than a typical RTS. Then
Oh yeah.
I can kind of see the appeal there.
Like, I start the game basically, planting down my city with nothing more than a couple shacks and a monument to some unknown god. And 4 hours later into my play session, my armies are over top Paris, burning it to the ground. That feels good.
I'm all about burning Paris to the ground, in video game form, of course. So that sounds like it's right up my alley.
You could get Civ 4 on sale like dirt cheap, and it's such, in my opinion, it's a way better game than Civ 5. But hey, if you like Civ 5 out there, all right, do your thing.
I saw Civ 5 like played, and it just seems way more cluttered. It just like, and I know it takes like a grittier, like.
Yeah, that was the
Look on
problem.
it.
Like it scales like it's definitely streamlined. Like they streamlined the UI, they streamlined the combat, they streamlined basically everything. But you're right. Like for some reason, every time I'm playing, I just feel so cluttered. And another terrible, terrible thing was, I played one multiplayer game, and all of the stuff I really liked in single player, which was like the really nice animation of the leaders and the backdrops for that, like some really good narration and stuff like that. All of that was not in the multiplayer.
Yeah.
And the UI isn't bad in single player, but for some reason in multiplayer you're cluttered with all this useless information that just hangs on the screen that you can't get rid of. Like in Civ 4 in the multiplayer, you get one little like transparent tab that appears on the side of the screen that's really small. In Civ 5, like 4 like huge boxes take up the screen that aren't transparent and are there, you can't remove them. There's a lot of things I have problems with that game. That's my
All
take.
right. I see. I got you.
Did you have more to say about Civ 5 or Civ 4, John?
I know that I like it because it's like accessible. I'm not really good at those kind of games, so it's like it's simple. I even thought I've never played Civ 5, so I thought Civ 4 was simple. If what you're saying is Civ 5 made it simpler, then that's a good thing. Because the reason why I'm not good at those games is because there's so many things that I have to take care of at one time, and if they make the screen more cluttered with stuff, it's just not a good idea for me to be playing that game. So
Civ is turn-based, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of take it at your own pace rather than like Age of Empires where you have to be clicking like hell all the time.
Like if your city's surrounded by like multiple armies, you could just sit back and be like, all right, let me figure out what I want my other cities to do, and then let me pick out like unit by unit, see what we could do here. Like you could take it at your own pace. Where yeah, you're right. As like a real time strategy, it's like you're at all times you got to be going.
Yeah, all right, that sounds good to me. I'm probably someday gonna try Civ 4, but I'll have to.
Yeah,
set
one day
aside...
when it's on sale, get it, come play a game with us. But all I'm saying is you better be ready to sit down for 8 hours
Yeah.
to maybe finish the game, maybe.
But yeah, I'll have to set aside a pretty significant amount of time before I'm ready to fully go in on that. Because if I'm gonna go in, I gotta go in. But
Yeah, I think Pulaski just tweeted that sometimes you just got to go in.
Hey, that's life.
that's life. That's right. You gotta live Moss.
Hashtag live Moss.
All right. Any other vid games this week?
Yeah. You're talking to the JEO 2013 fighting game tournament champion, me.
Second place. Number 2.
Hey, 1 is better than 2.
What place did I get? Like 6th or something. That was pretty good.
Who even cares? It doesn't even matter at that point.
Hey, I mean, I actually won some games, which is a change of pace.
You were
Yeah.
tied 6th or 5th or something.
All right,
But-
so inside baseball here. We had like a fighting game tournament. What was it, yesterday?
Was it yesterday?
I don't
No.
remember.
It was
Yeah,
2
it
days
was.
ago. No,
Yeah,
it was 2 days
no, it
ago.
wasn't.
Well, technically, it was 2 days ago.
Okay, 2 days ago we had a fighting game tournament. We played a variety of fighting games. I think we talked about the build up to it in a previous episode. But yeah, did you have any like particular fighting game you wanted to discuss? I think we talked about Marvel before.
Yeah, Persona 4 is a lot of fun. Street Fighter is kind of technical, real defensive.
You know, I like Street Fighter 4 more and more every time I play it. Like
Because you
it's-
won, or just it's
No, it's like the most interesting out of those games to me. I mean,
Yeah,
I like the pace of it a lot more than Marvel, for example.
well, they provide different things, and I think Street Fighter's like a great game if someone wants to get into fighting games, because it's a real easy way to learn the basics, and like you just pick a character like Ryu, and then you just work on your blocks, your special moves, your normals, stuff like that. And that game, you could get that dirt cheap in like disc form too. So if you
Yeah.
want to get into fighting games, try that out.
One thing I was noticing was that in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the early game of any match like is sort of defensive, and you have to read your opponent a little bit and try and get in. But after that, it really devolves into if you drop the combo, you lose. If you get hit by a real
Yeah.
nice long combo, you lose. Whereas in Street Fighter, that defensive spacing goes on through the whole match, and it feels a lot more measured, and like you really have to be aware of what's going on with the other guy at all times, even if you're hitting them. So
Yeah.
it's just more interesting to me, and it's easier for me to play as I am because I'm not that great at like games that are super fast. So
Yeah, Marvel definitely has a pace to it, and you're right. At the beginning, it's a lot of like, all right, let's see. You're trying to go for like small damage at the beginning, so you could get like that edge. Where, you're right. A Street Fighter match is like that's the entire match basically. But after that second character kind of gets tapped in a Marvel match, at our level of play at least, it turns into all right, who can start dishing out big damage and start getting kills.
yeah, which there's fun to be had either way, but I think I'm personally more into what Street Fighter brings. So I definitely want to learn more about that game, I think, and try and see if I can get any better at it.
Yeah, and you could probably pick it up real cheap. But one thing Street Fighter lacks, well, it doesn't lack it, but compared to Marvel is hype.
Yeah, that's true. There's hype, but Marvel gets real exciting and real fun at the top level when you watch those matches. You know, at my level, it's more frustrating, but hey, there's still good times
Now,
to be had.
John, you found some success with Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh, I did. That was pretty crazy. I did start to get frustrated though at one point because I agree with you that I mean, with me, like once I got past that level of like, all right, I know what I'm doing. It's like I can't do what I'm trying to do that I know that I can do, but I can't do it. You know what I mean? So it definitely got there. But I was doing all right. I'm not good at fighting games either. I'm not good at a lot of games, but
Well, you just happen to have some friends who are really like fighting games,
yeah.
and I think I didn't really get too frustrated at all, even after losing some matches. I feel like I handle it okay. Some people though got a little salty,
Yes, some people do.
but hey,
that comes with the profession.
yeah, I mean, you get real serious into fighting games, you lose a match, you have some leeway to get a little salty. I'll let that slide, but I'll just say you keep a level head and you come out on top.
Perhaps.
Hey,
Just to talk about one last game. I think Persona is pretty fun, but I didn't win in BlazBlue as I typically do this year. BlazBlue Continuum Shift, I believe is when we played.
yeah,
But I think I have like a whole new reverence for that game now that I didn't really have before. because I was talking about the way that Marvel and Street Fighter play out as a match goes on, and maybe this is not true at the top level of BlazBlue, but at our level, there's a lot of different ways to approach any given character in that game, and the way any one match plays out, even in a bunch of matches between two people can be completely different. It's like hard to describe how, but the characters have a lot of unique abilities and options that let you play different styles with the same character and approach your opponent in different ways. So, I was playing as my favorite character, Platinum the Trinity, and I was trying to put on a little bit of a zoning game. I was trying to go in for the corner traps, and depending on the given match, it would work or it wouldn't work, and it was just kind of interesting. It makes me want to learn more about all the different ways I can play that game, so that in any given situation I can dominate.
Huh.
That final was really good too.
Yeah.
We played every single match you could have played.
And Pacholo put a show on this year in the Air Dash fighters, the anime fighters, but kind of fell short in the other games.
But I feel like Marvel was probably the most discouraging experience I had that day, but with the other games, I feel like I definitely want to start learning a little bit more, because I feel like I'm not too far from the cusp where I can break over and start getting a little bit more advanced. So
yeah, and hey, I'll tell you what, just spend a little while against Nemesis in the training room.
Yeah. All right.
Next time you won't get bodied.
Fuck Nemesis.
# shots fired.
I think that's going to do it for this week's show. I'm not going to make any promises about when we'll be back. I'm not going to lie to you.
Hopefully next week. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Wait.
Hey, you know what? Last time I promised that, it didn't happen. So we'll see where the wind blows.
Pump the brakes real quick. All right, next week is not Otakon. We'll be here next week.
Hey, we'll talk about Otakon in the future. We're going to go to that.
Hey, podcast from the hotel room. It will be done. Okay. I promise it will be done.
Sure. So look forward to that. That'll be sometime mid-August. But as far as future episodes go, we'll try and do our weekly thing, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We'll see how it goes. But this has been your host, HunterJawa, giving the sweet sounds to your ears. Good night.
And Vanillafish, a.k.a. Nemesis T-Type, and joined by a good friend.
John Fay, a.k.a. the Big Kahuna, a.k.a. J-Swag, a.k.a. the pretty cool dude.
Are you done? Yeah. Is that it? Is that all?
That's it.